Hello and welcome to Did You Know Gaming Extra. In today's episode, we're looking at how developers combated piracy in their games. Piracy is considered a controversial and nuanced topic by many, but to video game developers and publishers, it's a fairly cut and dry issue. The gaming industry loses billions of dollars to piracy every year, though many argue these figures have to be taken with a grain of salt, as many pirated downloads wouldn't have ultimately resulted in a sale anyway. One standout example of rampant piracy can be demonstrated with the Nintendo DS in 2009. In just 2009, in just Japan and just on the DS, it's estimated that around 20 million games were pirated, which resulted in almost an estimated $1 billion lost sales. And Pokémon Platinum was illegally downloaded over 2 million times just in the region. With piracy affecting their games, it's understandable why Nintendo began implementing more anti-piracy features in their bigger titles. Pokémon Diamond, Pearl and Platinum had almost no anti-piracy features, but Pokémon HeartGold and SoulSilver would be a turning point for the series. If the game detects that it's running on unofficial hardware or being played through emulation, battles will become impossible to complete. The fight will begin, but everything on screen will become static, besides the player's Pokeballs, which will continuously spin. However, pirates quickly found a way around these measures, and the game now runs flawlessly via emulation. Nintendo upped the ante again with Pokémon Black and White, which both have a special infrared communicator within them that isn't found in ordinary DS cartridges. The game would check the status of this infrared communicator at certain points in the game. If there was no response from the communicator, the game would assume it was an illegal copy, as pirated copies of the game wouldn't have this infrared communicator. If the game believes it's an illegal copy, the player's Pokémon would stop gaining experience, limiting progression of the game. The titles would also crash at random points during play. Cheat codes and other hacks were eventually found to enable pirated copies to function properly. Creators of the erotic visual novel Cross Days tried some different tactics to combat piracy. Any copy that was illegally downloaded online came with a Trojan virus disguised as an installer for the game. This install presented a survey to the players asking them for their personal details, and would take a screenshot of whatever was on the person's screen at the time. Both this screenshot and the user's personal information would then be posted online for the whole world to see. The only way of getting this taken down was by publicly admitting to illegally downloading the game. Some developers had a more technical approach to anti-piracy. Like most ZX Spectrum games, Set Willy was stored on a cassette tape. Simply making an audio copy of the cassette tape allowed people to easily copy Spectrum games. But Set Willy was one of the first games to come with copy protection, a card with 180 color codes on it. Although the cassette could be duplicated, a code from the card had to be entered before the game began. And at the time, home color reproduction was hard to do. This made copying Set Willy trickier than most Spectrum games. However, means of circumventing the card were quickly found, and featured in the June 1984 issue of the popular UK outlet, Your Computer magazine. Although anti-piracy features can be effective, some game makers have found success in simply asking pirates to support them. Hidden in the files of the 2D Sonic-inspired platformer Freedom Planet is a message from the characters Lilac and Carol. The message is fully voiced in character, and attempts to encourage pirates to donate to the developer's official website.
Torque's radar says that this game might have been pirated.
Yarr, matey.
Please help us by donating. Visit freedomplanet.galaxytrail.com/donate to get started.
And you can donate as much as you want.
Some developers have even tried appealing to a pirate's sense of humor. Pirating the action platformer No Time to Explain results in every character in the game wearing a pirate hat which can't be removed. The pirated version was released by the developers Tiny Build themselves, with the hopes that people would appreciate the joke and purchase the game. In rare situations, a few developers have actually condoned piracy. Hotline Miami 2 was banned from sale in Australia due to a scene where the player enters an adult film set, kills everyone inside, including the people on set who are having relations. In response to the ban, the game's co-designer and programmer, Jonathan Soderstrom, told Australian fans to simply pirate the game if they couldn't get hold of it. Interestingly, the game's publisher, Devolver Digital, came out in support of Soderstrom's comments, and told ScrewAttack.com, "We're big fans of Jonathan and we stand behind him on his support for his fans." And now it's time for this episode's random piece of trivia. Today we're talking about Dragon Ball Z Boo's Fury on the Game Boy Advance. The game has several unused elements within its data. One of the more interesting pieces of unused text are 3 Scouter entries for Android number 13, Android number 14, Android number 15, and Super Android number 13 from the movie Dragon Ball Z Super Android 13. This seems to imply that a scenario with the characters was planned to unfold in the game at some point during development. For more facts about game developers, click the link in the top right corner to watch our video on how Metroid Prime 2's producer couldn't beat his own game. Also, if you didn't know, we're making a region-locked book. For more information on that, check out the link in the description down below. And of course, thank you to our wonderful patrons, and thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this show, don't forget to like and subscribe, because then, we'll have a great time. So, maybe I'll see you again soon. Maybe we could go for a coffee or something, I don't know. I'm a bit busy over Christmas, but we always say we're gonna get together, and we just never do. So, I'll make time for you. But then, you never really make time for each other, do you? I don't know what I'm talking about.